Okay, so welcome to Lesson 1, Types of Data. This is the Data Collection and Presentation Unit for 11 Maths A. Okay, so first off, we're just going to have a look at different types of data. While you're going through and watching the video, just make sure that you copy down any examples, and that as we go through definitions, that you take notes and write those definitions down. So I won't be writing all of them. You'll have to take the definitions from what I say. Okay, so to start with, data. So when we talk data, so we're talking information that is collected about a certain group. It's statistical information. Okay, so that's our first one. Then we need to know a variable, so variables. So variable just means something that varies or something that changes. So that particular characteristic that we look at, we call a variable, and it is something we can observe, count, measure. We can then classify the data. Let's go these. So depending on what those variables are, we can classify them as categorical or numerical. So categorical, this one's categories. So when you can't actually count something, if you're looking at the colours of cars, the makes, the models, those sorts of things. If you're looking at the most popular coloured socks that students wear, that's a category. It's not something that you can count or measure. Sorry, not count. It's not something that you can actually measure. You can just see how many there are. Numerical data, however, are things like your height, so looking at different heights, looking at different shoe lengths, things that can be measured. Numbers, basically. Categories, numbers. Our categorical data, though, can be broken down into just checking, nominal and ordinal. So nominal data, this is our ones that don't have any kind of order. So things like car colours, you know, there's no order when it comes to those. Ordinal, though, and that odd part, the prefix odd, will give you the clue. It means order. Okay, so ordinal numbers are your counting numbers in order, 0, 1, 2, 3. Ordinal just means that it has an order, like if you were rating a YouTube clip or a movie. Okay, so 1 stars, 3 stars, 5 stars. So there's an actual order and there's a value attached to those. So that the categorical data can be nominal or ordinal. Then we have our numerical data, which can be discrete or continuous. So basically, discrete data are ones that are whole numbers, basically. So they can only take a particular value. It's usually a whole number, but not always. So a particular value like shoe size. So your shoes can only be like size 7, 8, 9, 10, 7, 7.5, 8, 8.5, 9, 9.5, that kind of thing. But you can't have 9.3675 as a shoe size, okay? It doesn't work that way. So that's discrete. Particular values, still to do with numbers though. Continuous numerical data is when it just keeps on going. So height, weight, if you measured the size of your foot, all of those things are continuous because you could put it on anywhere on a number line. So if you measured your height in centimeters, you could go, 1.653792 centimeters. You can go right down millimeter, whatever. But you can, it's anywhere along that number line. It's not just a set value, anywhere from 0 to whatever. You can find a continuous numerical value. So if we height of a tree, all of those sorts of things that you often will measure. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to give you a bit of an example, and I'll draw it up, and then we'll go through, and you can just try and answer as we go, and then I'll wait a little second and then tell you them. Okay, so basically we're just going to be looking at two different tennis players. So okay, so when we have a look at all of this information, we've basically got here some tennis stats and information about Pete Sampras and Goran Ivanisevic. Don't know tennis very well. Now what we're doing, so I've got, the first thing you need to do when you're presented with information like this is to just break down what it is that you actually see. So what I can see here, let's just get rid of this to begin with. There we go. And then that way we won't get confused. So what I can see here, two tennis players, and then I can see some information about them. So age, birthplace, residence, height, so residence where they live, weight. I can see that height and weight are in feet and inches and in pounds, but that's okay. Career winnings, how much they've won over their career, the world ranking, and Grand Slam titles. Then when I go down here, I can see, okay, Wimbledon 1998 is under this line. So it's the statistics from the games they played in 1998 at Wimbledon. So how many matches they played, the aces they got, how many double faults, which means that they're out, first serve percentage, first serve points won, and first serve maximum speed. Then over on the side here, we've got their love life and their likes, so for each player. So basically what I want you to think about is what these types of data are. So just as a reminder, you're looking at numerical or categorical. And numerical will either be discrete, set numbers, continuous, anywhere along the scale. Categorical will be ordinal, so they have order, first, second, third, that kind of stuff. Sorry, I'm having a bit of a mind blank there. Ordinal or nominal, that's right, so no, numbers, just numbers, no order. Okay, so what we're going to look at is age. So age, what type of data is that? Okay, so think to yourself whenever I ask these questions, maybe write them down and see if they match with what I say. So basically, if we look at age here, this one. So your age, straight up, is numerical. So we know it's numerical, but what type of numerical? Well, age is not just a continuous sort of, I guess we can go right down to age months, but I would put age pretty much as discrete numerical data, mostly because we just look at it as 26, 27, 28. We just count it in years. Next one, birthplace. So we did age, now look at birthplace. So when we have a look at that, we can see here are the two birthplaces. Now they're definitely categorical, okay? There's no numbers, nothing at all. But what type? Look, they're going to be, there's no order to them, so they're going to just be categorical because unfortunately, well, nominal, no order. Then let's have a look at height. So again, we look and we go, okay, look, numbers. Yep, numbers. So straight away we know numerical. When I look at height, I can see even then that it's feet and inches, etc. So it can appear along a number line. It is a continuous. You could be 6'1", 6'2", 6'3", 4, not just 6 feet, 7, 8. So this one for height will be continuous numerical. Then let's look at world ranking. Okay, these ones definitely, look, we've got numbers, yeah? But you're not ranked 1.357 in the world. You are ranked first, second, third, fourth, fifth. So they're numbers, numerical, but they are discrete. They're not continuous, they're set numbers. Let's look at ACEs. So when we look at ACEs, we've got 105 here and 161 here. So straight away, numerical. But again, you can't have half an ACE. An ACE is you serve it over and it smashes in and they can't return it. So you get the point. And you either get it or you don't. So it is numerical, but it's also discrete. First serve max speed. So that's this bottom one here. So again, we have a look. We've got some numbers. Yeah. So it's numerical. But it's miles per hour. And so we can basically measure that along a continuum. Therefore, continuous numerical data. And then last of all, let's have a look at love life. So if we look on this side, no numbers, nothing. So these ones here, it's just words talking about whether or not they have a love life and how it's going. So it's categorical. Categorical, nominal, I guess, but it's just categorical. Okay, so now you should make sure that you feel confident in understanding the difference between numerical and categorical and how to then further split those categories of data into discrete continuous for numerical and ordinal and nominal for categorical.